Good Monday morning, everybody. We've got a chance for some storms today and then big heat for tomorrow and Wednesday. I'm going to start you out with kind of the big picture here in the upper atmosphere. Now, this time of year, you typically have a very active storm pattern in what we call the northwest flow. So here's the big upper ridge. You can kind of trace that with the dark orange, but in the middle of this, you typically have little waves of upper energy that come south and kick up storms. So that's where we're going to be today. Actually, a pretty good chance of storms, but then by tomorrow, well, that risk is going to shift a bit to the northeast, right along the edge of that ridge. That could include our northern counties, but then Wednesday, with the strongest ridge of the year, in fact, down here to the south and west. But we're going to see the heat come in, and it's going to be hot from anywhere here to the southwest. And I would anticipate a heat advisory area-wide, or at least for most of the Ozarks. But then it doesn't last long, and by Friday, a nice northwest flow again, cold front, chance of storms, and the heat retreats to the southwest. So this has been the pattern lately, where we have a couple of really hot days, and then we get some relief. That storm threat, I tell you what, it's been firing most of the night up here to the northeast. It was a nice light show pre-dawn. Now, there was likely going to be a bit of an outflow boundary that could trigger some storms this morning in our northeastern counties. Don't think that's going to be anything widespread, but then look up here to the northwest. You'll see some scattered storms in parts of Iowa and Nebraska. Well, there's a little upper wave that's going to come south, and there's a front that runs kind of like this, and that's going to come south and may get into central Missouri, say something like this, late today. So that all means a pretty good chance for scattered storms. Again, those northeastern counties primarily this morning along what may be an outflow boundary, kind of sagging out like this. That also could trigger some storms in the afternoon, and I think the better chance of storms will exist after the lunch hour once that upper energy comes in. Plenty of fuel, but not enough shear to really create a lot of severe weather. So this will be primarily lightning, thunder, heavy rain, maybe some gusty winds. A warning or two is possible, but not necessarily likely. There's 6 o'clock, and we still could see a few storms in the overnight hours. And this model, anyway, shows a pretty decent cluster coming at us tomorrow morning, going across primarily the northeast half of the Ozarks. Now, I would say that may be a bit more to the northeast, but it's a chance, and that certainly could keep temps very different from spot to spot for tomorrow. Today, well, it's a level 1 risk, sort of the bottom end of the scale, a warning or two. Wind and hail would be the threat, given how much instability we have. And then the threat should shift to the northeast a little bit tomorrow, better along the edge of that ridge, but a few storms could impact our counties, at least early on. Temps are near or just above 70 in most cases this morning. And honestly, numbers could be all over the place by afternoon. I anticipate low 90s for the high temp, and certainly cooler where it rains. Tomorrow morning should be close to 70 degrees, and then, well, tomorrow, remember, where those storms are possible, it could be quite a bit cooler. But to the southwest, in that ridge of high pressure, it is going to cook. High temps, upper 90s, it may even hit 100. So what does that mean for the heat index? Well, today, not really a big issue, but tomorrow, yeah, 105 to 110 in spots. I would anticipate at least western and southern parts of Missouri to heat advisory. It's already out for tomorrow in Arkansas. The good news is it won't last long. In fact, today's probably one of the better chances of rain. Alert days for Tuesday, Wednesday because of the heat. A front will come south Thursday, Friday, scattered storms. Highs could be in the mid-80s by Friday.